Started. Another week, fellas. I smell controversy in the air.
Yep.
I'd like to welcome our special guest, Billy. What's up, Billy?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me. Controversy aside, I'm glad to be here.
So we'll let Jesse get the controversy out of the way real quick.
I mean, you're going to have to time it because I could go on for another 2 hours, but cut me off if I start ranting. I mean, this is a giant rant, but cut me off, I guess, at some reasonable minute mark. So just to keep the listeners in the loop, we have Billy as our special guest, a dear friend of mine from college, but we wanted to sort of address the controversy in his Blazin' 5 pool. So for those of you who don't know, the Blazin' 5, inspired by Colin Cowherd.
Legend.
You pick 5 games against the spread every week. The winner gets a predetermined amount of money. We're not going to get into the finances of the pool. This is a very high stakes pool though. So lots of money, do every week. And the big controversy was we're gonna let this person remain nameless. We'll keep him as Eagles fan 5 for now. But he was leading the pool for a good while. I think he went 4-1 this week, and he ended up paying at 8 p.m. and it caused quite the shitstorm in the group. Lots of regrettable things were said, names were called, and it's pretty crazy because this pool overlaps at least 4 different friend groups. So no one knows each other. Everyone's calling each other names.
Everyone's trolling
each other. I say some things I regret. A couple other people say some things they regret. But I end up storming out of the pool. Billy refunds me. I relay my money to Blaine. Blaine wins the week. But I had to get out of there because Eagles fan 5, who's taking advantage of the system, I felt cheated. And I guess I'll open it up to thoughts there, but was I in the wrong? No, 100% in the right. Feel free to weigh in. America, you can weigh in as well, but I 100% did what I had to do there. So,
Curry?
Yeah. Jesse, man, like I think about that controversy, like, yes, I wanted to troll you, but also like as your friend, I didn't know the other dudes. So, like, and I didn't know, like, if you knew them was the thing. Because they were, like, talking serious shit. And I was like, okay, like, does Jesse know these guys? Is he cool with these guys? But also, like, Jesse was being a fucking fool. Like, the way that you were messaging, like, completely outrageous. Like, this is so fraudulent. Like,
it's only things you would say to, like, people you know.
Like,
Jesse just went at him.
You just got so offended by, like, this guy paying, 7 hours late. For a fee for a Blazin' 5, and I was like, dude, like I want to back you up because you're my boy, but also like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like,
it was a shitstorm.
So what I'll say is, and Jesse and Curry can attest to this, the waiver controversy of 2016, when a league member, he'll remain nameless.
I mean, we just gave the first
he was
name,
just named.
Yeah, no.
He will remain nameless except for me spilling that there. He submitted his waiver. He submitted his keeper. Sorry, not waiver. Keeper controversy. Submitted his keeper after the deadline. I repeatedly pushed, so we had to cut his waivers from 2 to 1. Initially, I didn't want to give him any, so I empathize with Billy on being able to enforce your rules as commissioner. When people push back, it's very hard. But I agree with Jesse on the principle of the matter.
Yeah. Here's the thing with the rule. It was basically instituted for 2 reasons. One, for exactly what happened. I knew something funny would come up like this. I knew there would be content from it. So that was first and foremost. Second reason being the commissioner and having to collect money every week, I didn't want to have to chase people around. So I made the rule basically knowing I wasn't going to enforce it, just to try to get people to pay early so that later in the week I didn't have to keep running back and forth saying like, you still got to pay. So that's basically my side. I never really had any thoughts to actually enforcing the rule, but I understand how that could be perceived as misleading.
So this is where we're at, America. I'm out of the pool. Billy still may or may not enforce the rule. I'm in the right. And, now I'm just going to be giving you my picks without a Blazing 5 pool to associate those picks with. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm out.
All right, controversy handled well.
Also, a quick recap of last week. Jesse lost like every pick that he made except for his Blazing 5 picks. Like it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
last week Jesse went 5-11 on the week with his total picks and 4.
I fade myself though. To be fair, I fade myself.
It's incredible. No, you didn't fade yourself last week. You did it the first week, but you went 1-10 in all games that weren't in Blazing 5 last week.
Unbelievable.
Had a hell of a mortal lock though. Mortal lock was
hell of a mortal lock.
America, I hope you made $1 million on that because that was a lock and a half. Right. It wasn't even close that game.
I want to apologize too. Last week, I got in the spin cycle of so much negativity from all the Eagle fans in my life that I just assume they can't actually be that bad, but they might actually be that bad.
30-second DVOA.
Awful.
We got analytics. Going. Those are letters I know. All right, we ready for picks?
Yeah, I'm so done with this controversy. Just give me the slate.
On the year, I'm 18-13. Curry is 16-15, and Jesse is 11-20.
But 2-0 in Mortal Locks. Only one with perfect Mortal Locks.
2-0 in Mortal Locks.
Right. So even if you assume that Mortal Locks are like 2 units apiece, me and Sam are both 1-1, and Jesse's 2-0.
They're way more important than you make them out to be. So I'd rather go 16-0 Mortal Locks and 1 in a million.
The fans lost the Mortal Lock last week, unfortunately.
Yeah,
they faded Curry.
And I faded Jesse, so I lost.
All right, tonight. Miami at Jacksonville. Jacksonville 3-point favorites. I think the public got everyone by saying that Jacksonville was that bad. I never thought Gardner Minshew was that bad, but the media kind of convinced me. And now people are realizing again he's not that bad. So I'm going to take Jacksonville -3. I think Miami's taking another year, get Tua healthy for next year, and be trash again this year. So I'll take Jacksonville.
So I'm going to go here with the law of averages. You got Jacksonville 2-0 against the spread as well. I can't see them going 3-0 against the spread. That's a little chaotic. They're not ready to be a favorite yet. Apparently home field advantage matters, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the idiot. No fans, home field still matters.
There will be fans there tonight.
Will be fans, and I don't care if it's empty.
Jacksonville Psychos too. That's basically
like 17,000. I think something like that will be there tonight. And Gardner Minshew said that was a big part of why they won their first game. So I'm taking the Jags as well. I think if you're a Dolphins fan, this is a game that they have to lose if they want to, or if they want to start at some point in the year. Like they just have this matchup.
Did Jacksonville ever draw more than 17,000 generally?
No, that's like 100%.
No, so like they're good.
So I'm going Miami, though. Write that down. Miami +3. I don't buy into Jacksonville going 3-0 against the spread to start the season. That's psychotic. Law of averages.
Yep, I'm joining you. I'm going Dolphins. I think the public sentiment preseason was right. I think the Jags stink. They've had a hot start, but law of averages, like Jesse said, they're going to start losing some games. And I got the Dolphins in the points.
Okay, so me and Curry taking Jacksonville. Jesse and Billy taking Miami. Next, we have Chicago Bears at Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are 3-point favorites. I think the Bears are frauds. They haven't really played anyone yet, and they keep winning. Atlanta has gotten really unlucky. They really need this dub. So I'm going to take Atlanta -3.
Yeah, I'm jumping in right away. The mortal lock of the week for Jesse Ackerman, and I love that the line's kind of dropping a little bit. You said it's -3 right now?
Yeah.
I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons -3. I think this is one of the best offenses in the NFL.
If we learn,
I think Chicago.
Take Jesse's mortal lock.
Yes. So this is a guaranteed hit. Mitch Trubisky is going to keep throwing interceptions. Matt Ryan will put up points. Calvin Ridley is one of the best, most underrated receivers in the NFL. That defense is awful. I still think the coach gets fired at the end of the year, but they're not going to go 0-3. That's craziness. So Atlanta Falcons cover big time here. Lots of points. Atlanta -3 all the way.
Yeah, I actually love that Falcons pick, to be honest. So take that as you will. But, I mean, after getting absolutely embarrassed by the Cowboys last week, the Falcons kind of have to look themselves in the mirror. And like Jesse said, I mean, their offense is electric. Calvin Ridley's having a breakout season. Julio, I think he's questionable, but he'll play. He'll play through it. He's indestructible. So they're going to put up points, and I don't think the Bears' offense can keep up. So.
Yeah, consensus here. I think the Falcons absolutely destroy them. It's another law of averages game. Bears should not be 2-0. Falcons should not be 0-2.
Facts. All right, we got a
Consensus.
Consensus on the Atlanta Falcons. Jesse, that's too big to fail.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I wish Curry picked the opposite side, but whatever.
Next, we have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles 4.5-point favorites. There's no way I'm picking the Eagles. They're on a 1 week. One week cannot pick them this week. I will say they have to win by more than 4.5, or else they're in trouble. Both teams 0-2. Joe Burrow, I'll pick against them every week. They got the backdoor cover last week. I feel a backdoor cover again this week. Cincinnati plus 4.5.
Yeah, I think the Eagles win here, but I can't keep picking them. I picked them the first 2 weeks. They're 0-2 against the spread. Just even more injuries. I can get into it if you want, but Jalen Reagor's not going to play. I think Fletcher Cox is on track for not playing as well. I think Miles Sanders has a day and a half, though, because Cincinnati's probably got the worst run defense I've seen in a long time. So because of Miles Sanders, they cover. They don't cover, but they win. So I'm taking Cincinnati with the points, but the Eagles are on the verge of a console with the loss. So
I think you're right. I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm going to take the little bit of hope that I have left of the season and put it into Eagles minus 4.5. I think the Bengals defense, I think Miles Sanders, Zach Ertz, and Dallas Goedert all have to have absolute days, which means Carson Wentz has to have a decent day. So not to be the WIP caller that puts everything on the back of Carson Wentz, but I think he needs to have a good day, and I think he will have a good day because the Bengals are not a good team. So give me the Birds, please, for the love of God. Please give me the Birds.
The Birds.
I like the Eagles too. It's a must-win game for them. And then also, I think Burrow has already become America's sweetheart. There's going to be public sentiment behind them. People hate the Eagles that aren't from Philly, so people don't like the Eagles. I think public's going to be on the Bengals, and therefore I'm on the Eagles.
No one likes this. We don't care.
Vegas' side. Yeah.
No one likes this. We don't care.
Thank you, Mr. Delco.
Me and Jesse taking the Bengals. Curry and Billy taking the Eagles. I probably would have taken the Eagles if they weren't on a 1 week moratorium for me, but alas. Next game.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Houston at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 4-point favorites. Tough one to pick. Not much conviction. I'll take Houston +4. They need to win. Pittsburgh less so needs to win. So I think they'll keep it close. Pittsburgh might win this, but only by a field goal.
Yeah, my favorite thing in football is desperation, and you got a desperate team in Houston. Bill O'Brien's going to be pulling out all the stops. Good coach, bad GM. If you recall from my inaugural podcast take, he'll have enough in the X's and O's to get the cover and the win. I like Deshaun bouncing back nicely here, even though the defense is elite. I think Houston pulls it out. So,
I also like Houston in this game. First of all, I hate that line. But if I'm leaning one way, it's towards Houston, kind of for the reason that Jesse said. I think Deshaun's gonna have a big bounce back game. He's lost 2 games by 14 or more, both to the Ravens. So
the NFL schedule makers screwed them royally.
Yeah,
That's insane.
So what, they played the
right
Ravens
off the
and
rip.
the Chiefs in the first 2 weeks?
Off
so
the
they're
rip.
0-2, but that doesn't mean they're a bad football team. We don't know if they're a bad football team or not because they played the Chiefs and the Ravens. That stinks. So I think they have a big bounce back week, and the Texans take it to them.
I was originally also going to bet the Texans, but after hearing you three, I think this is what everybody's going to be thinking. So I'm just going to go Steelers,
So fair.
contrarian pick.
Okay,
I
respect that. I respect that.
Especially with Curry on our side.
We got Billy.
Yeah.
Can't be on that side of history.
Yeah. Everyone else taking Houston. Billy versus the world.
I had a fucking winning week last week. Like, why are you guys? This narrative
I know what your Phillies bets were.
Curry's
I know what your
dead.
Phillies bets were. We'll put a winning with an asterisk.
Here's what I'll say about Curry. Above all else, fade his NBA picks. Above all else.
Yes.
Alex Caruso, lay up down 10 to push the over 119.5. I can't forget that. I can't forget it.
You can't recover from
Keep
that.
sending
I would
NBA bets for
disband
some
my
reason.
FanDuel account. Yeah, just quit FanDuel at that point.
Okay, Las Vegas Raiders at New England Patriots. Jesse, I think it's safe to say at this point, my Arizona Cardinals, Jesse's Las Vegas Raiders, Curry's Green Bay Packers. Is that safe to say?
Yes.
Yeah, safe to say. So Jesse's Las Vegas Raiders at the New England Patriots. I did a little homework here, so you'll have to forgive me. Dr. Locks, we lost you.
Nope, I'm back.
Patriots at Baltimore next week. Trap game.
God.
Trap game. Raiders, 5-point dogs. I'm going to take the Raiders here. I would lock this if not for two reasons. One being that the Patriots are 1-1 instead of 2-0. If they were 2-0 into this, I think I would totally drop this. And Belichick not as susceptible to a trap game as everyone else. But I'm going to take the Raiders here. That's too many points, 5. Raiders +5.
Yeah, Raiders, I can't thank them enough. They hit my mortal lock. They kept my perfect record alive. I love you, John Gruden. Your sound. Did you see the shit he was doing in the locker room this weekend? He was doing like Simon
That was
Says,
crazy.
touch your knees, touch your head. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen all NFL season. The guy is just a content machine. I think his quarterback sucks, by the way. I think his quarterback sucks. Josh Jacobs is carrying right now.
Give me Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, no, don't give me that, but his defense is better this year, and Josh Jacobs might win the rushing title. Raiders all the way. John Gruden, carry me to the promised land. Thank you.
I'm going to also go with the Raiders.
Oh, no.
I know. It's terrible. And I'm leaving it to Billy, who's going to be the defector again. But yeah, kind of what Sam said, 5. What is it, 5.5?
5. It's 5 right now.
5, dude. 5's a lot of points, especially for a team that just smacked up the Saints, who are a good football team. Like, I'm going Raiders. Their defense looks so good against the Saints last week. Like, I can't not pick them.
I'm so mad at you. I think this is like 4 straight picks we've been on the same side. So thank you.
Was there an injury?
I hate these lines.
Was there an injury I didn't see today? Because I looked earlier and it was 6.5.
I don't know. Yeah, I did see it much bigger earlier today, but FanDuel saying 5.
I looked into it quick.
So
I didn't see one, but that's a pretty big.
It was 6 and now moved to 5?
It was 6.5 and now it's 5.
It's almost
give me the Pats. Give me the Pats.
Yeah, I'm taking
the Pats.
I had the Pats. I had the Pats anyway at 6.5, but I definitely love them at 5. Raiders are on a short. They're on a short week, and not just a short week, but coming off like a big emotional win over the Saints. I like a little bit of a regression with them. I don't know why that line moved, but I love that. Some may say a reverse line movement, so I'll take the Pats.
Give me the Pats.
Okay, me and Jesse on the Raiders, Perry and Billy on the Pats. Next we have the Los Angeles Rams at Billy's Buffalo Bills. Bills 2.5-point favorites. 2 pretty similar teams, I'd say. Rams have been a little more tested than the Bills thus far this season. 2.5 is tough. If this were 3, I'd probably take the Rams, but I'm gonna take Buffalo minus 2.5. I don't think they don't have fans, right, Billy?
No fans.
Yeah, no fans. But might be cold. I don't know. Buffalo's cold all the time. Jared Goff a fraud. So if there's any sort of adversity, he's not going to play well. So I'll take the Bills here with that defense.
Yeah. So I think this line is a very fair line. I'm going to go with the Bills here because, as you said, that 3-point line I wouldn't be as much of a fan with, but I can buy that 2.5 for sure. I think the Rams played the perfect game against the Eagles. There's good tape out there, what they're trying to do. There's so much motion in that offense. There's so much misdirection. I think the Bills can figure out a good game plan, and their defense figures them out. So I'll go with the Bills here.
Nah, I don't think so. Sorry. I can't
Any
go
reasoning?
Curry is.
Nah,
I know what Curry's doing. He's falling into the just watch the Eagles lose to the Rams trap. That's definitely what's happening.
Nah, dude. I mean, that Rams defense is for real. Say what you want about the Eagles offense, how they're poo-poo and hurt, but like that Rams defense is legit. Like the secondary and the front seven can get to the quarterback, and I think they give the Bills just a tough time on offense. I don't think the Bills are going to be able to put up points. So say what you want about the Bills defense, but they're not going to be able to score the ball.
Ramsey on Diggs is something to watch for sure.
Yes, for real. Both talk a lot of shit.
Obviously, I'm contractually obligated to take the Bills. I'm a little scared this week, though. I think both these teams are good, but I'll go with the Bills. I'll go with my guys. One thing I will say is if we get Milano and Edmonds back, the defense is even better than it was week 1. Obviously, week 2 we look kind of bad against the Dolphins, but those are some pretty key injuries, and those guys should be back this week.
Okay, so Curry taking the Rams, everyone else taking the Bills. Next we have the death trap that is MetLife Stadium. San Francisco 49ers at New York Giants. Niners 3.5-point favorites. That spread in their favor is shrinking quickly with all their injuries. Giants aren't good. Niners still have a good offensive line. I'm taking Niners minus 3.5.
Yeah, the Giants got even worse with Saquon going down. RIP. Sam, I know it's a soft spot for you in the IR right now. San Francisco, if George Kittle plays, he can cover that easily. I'm sorry. There's no one on the Giants who can cover any tight end whatsoever. There's not much on the Giants that can do anything, but especially not cover George Kittle. So I'm taking San Francisco here. Nick Mullins covers big time. He'll put up some points. Giants stink. So they're officially on tank for Trevor watch.
You think they'd replace Daniel Jones?
Yes, especially for Trevor.
Man, I hate this line, actually. I hate it so much because you have a banged-up team, a banged-up good team versus a bad team with their best player missing. So it's
I want to say this opened at like 6, honestly. Like it's shrunk a lot.
I'm going to go Niners. Kind of for what Sam said. They have a better O-line. Like, yeah, the Giants' D-line is good and can get penetration, but, like, how are they going to score? Darius Slayton? Like, no. Evan Engram? Like, no. Like, they're no. Niners.
I will go Niners, too. I think they're just going to run the ball all game. I think time of possession could be, like, 40-20. I don't see the Giants scoring enough points to cover.
Okay, so we all take the Niners here. All off on the Giants.
Hate that.
Next we have the Tennessee Titans at the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings keep burning me. I thought they would be good, but I did take the Colts last week, but I didn't think they'd get stomped, the Vikings. I don't think the Titans are quite that good, and Vikings need to win. So plus 2.5 for the Vikings, I'll take that at home. Now, I don't know if that matters, but the Vikings I think are a similar caliber to the Titans, so I'll give them plus 2.5 at home.
Another law of averages moment here. I think Tennessee's 0-2 against the spread this season. I think Derrick Henry gets going. Oh, you just killed my bid. My bid's over. I got to find a new logic right now. All right, so new bit. Derrick Henry, beast. He's going to run big time against Minnesota. It seems like their offseason departures are finally catching up with them. I think Tannehill is one of the more underrated guys in the NFL. Maybe even A.J. Brown makes an appearance. That'd be huge for them. I think Tennessee covers here.
Yeah, I like the Titans as well. I think the Vikings defense stinks, and I think Tannehill, when he wants to throw the ball, can throw the ball, especially Jonnu Smith, who's like a physical freak. Yeah, and Derrick Henry also, just a freight train running through that Vikings D-line, like Swiss cheese. So I think the Titans take this one pretty easily, to be honest.
I love that you said that, Curry, because I'm the exact opposite.
Nice.
This is a classic sucker line. Vegas is begging you to take the Titans minus 2.5. It's just low-hanging fruit. It's out there. They want you to grab it. They're going to pull it away. I think the Vikings cover here and maybe even win.
Okay, Billy and myself taking the Vikings. Jesse and Curry taking the Titans. Next, we have the Washington football team at the Cleveland Browns. Browns 7.5-point favorites. I'm not taking the Browns 7.5 against anyone, so I'm going to take the Washington football team plus 7.5.
I'm still not ready to trust Baker. Baker, he can look competent one day. He can look like the dumbest man on planet Earth the next day. I think Colin Cowherd has a day and a half because anytime Baker struggles, he wins big time. He's locked in on that take that Baker Mayfield is a fraud. And I think he proves it against the Washington football team, despite my doubts about everything regarding that team. So I'm taking Washington football team.
So glad you guys said that because my mortal lock this week is the Washington football team to cover against the Cleveland Browns. The Browns could not cover against the Bengals. I think that the Washington football team is a better team than the Bengals, especially with that D-line that they have. Going to give Baker headaches all day. Like, Baker's going to throw, I would say, at least 2 interceptions this game. I'd be surprised if he didn't. So, give me that Washington R-word football team, whatever you want to call them.
Redacted.
Lock it up. The Washington Redacted. Lock it up.
I have no idea how to bet the Browns. I feel like they're capable of beating anybody, and they're capable of losing to anybody.
Oh, they can still win this game by like 35.
Yeah, I see that. With that being said, I'm going to have to go with the R words. That's a lot of points. I don't think the Browns are all that good, but I'm admitting that this is a likely loss.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
Fade Curry's lock. Everyone's taking Washington football team. Big Chase Young podcast here. On to 4 o'clock games. We have the Carolina Panthers at Curry's Los Angeles Chargers. And what I'll dub the most Jets thing to happen to not the Jets last week. Tyrod Taylor got stabbed in
former Jet.
Tyrod Taylor got stabbed in the chest by his team doctor. So Justin Herbert's going to be starting this one. Chargers 6.5-point favorites. I'll take the Panthers here. I'm not big on the Chargers. Chargers got the Chiefs in what was a trap game last week. That's why that was close. Didn't realize that when I was picking the spread. Chiefs playing the Ravens this week. So I'll take the Panthers to cover here. I don't think they're that bad. They don't have Christian McCaffrey, which is tough. But I don't think they're as bad as people think they are.
Yeah, I feel like we come on here every week and we say the Panthers aren't as bad as we think they are. I got to hop off that ship. I'm not going to die on that hill. They are as bad as we think they are. Christian McCaffrey's hurt. I'm taking the Chargers. I'm sorry, Sam.
It's all good.
I'm also taking the Chargers. And to be fair, I bet against them last week because I was betting against Tyrod Taylor. I was not betting against Justin Herbert. So I'd like to believe that if Tyrod Taylor starts that game, they get blown out. So now that we know that Justin Herbert's the starter for this game due to unforeseen Jetsian practices by the team doctor, I think now that they can game plan their offense around him, kind of a dual threat guy. They got some weapons on that O. I think the Chargers take it to him, to be honest.
I'm going to go with the Panthers here. Teddy Bridgewater, ultimate game manager, going against a rookie quarterback and getting 6.5 points. I love the Panthers here.
Teddy Two Gloves fan.
4 touchdowns for Keenan Allen.
Not a fan, just, he won't lose in embarrassing fashion.
A financial fan.
Fair. Yeah. He'll lose by 6.
Exactly.
For sure.
You want a guy to lose to lose by a field goal? Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah. Billy and I taking the Panthers. Curry and Jesse taking the Chargers. Next, we have the New York Football Jets at the Indianapolis Colts. Colts 11.5-point favorites. Vegas is catching on, boys. They can't just keep giving away free money to pick against the Jets. I will not be surprised if the Jets cover this. I actually kind of expect it. But as I said last week, I pick against the Jets until they win. So Colts minus 11.5.
Yeah, this line started really low, like I think in the 7 range, and Vegas is catching on early money on the Colts. I think you're not canceled yet, but with a loss, potentially canceled Jets cover here because that line is very, very bloated. Phil Rivers, he already lost a huge spread game. I think the Jags were +9 or something crazy like that. I could see him not losing, but I could see him the game being close in the fourth quarter and the Jets covering. So
I think the Colts cover because, like Jesse said, that Phil Rivers lost that spread game. I don't think they're going to put the ball in Phil Rivers' hands. I think they're going to run the ball and dominate possession against a porous Jets defense who also cannot put up points. Like their offense, like we said last week, they're not going to put up points. They didn't put up points. Again, this is – I hate this line, how much it's moved, because laying 11 points on anyone, like, that's tough. But I think the Colts –
Vegas can't just
and they
keep
let me
giving away
down
free
early.
money
They
on
let
the
me
Jets.
down week 1. What'd you say?
Vegas can't just keep giving away free money on the Jets.
That's the thing. Like, and the Colts, they let me down big time week 1, but, like, I think they run all over in this game. Give me the Colts.
I'll go with the Jets. That line is just ridiculous. The Colts aren't even good. Like, that line makes no sense. I think the Jets cover. They probably lose by between 7 and 10, but that's just way too many points for me not to take.
I think if the Jets lose, they're okay. If they don't cover, it's a cancel. Like,
wait, Sam, how are they not already canceled for this year?
I just give them till 0-4, just on a miracle.
Courtesy 0-4. You can't cancel before 0-4.
You can't just cancel 2 games in.
In reality, they're canceled, but you can't. You
it's
buy
a formality.
luck.
I just need to sign the dotted line. But
so our friend from school, who will remain nameless, actually canceled them before the year started. So very brave of him there.
I know who you're talking about, but we will keep him suppressed. So that is correct.
Me and Curry taking the Colts. Jesse and Billy taking the New York Jets. Dallas Cowboys at Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks 5-point favorites. I'm going to take the Cowboys here, given the points. Pretty big number. And Seattle left everything they had on the field against New England. Very, very emotional game. So I'll take the Cowboys to cover here. Probably lose because they're the Cowboys, but
the Cowboys haven't looked good at all this season. I think Atlanta's the worst team in the NFL. They barely squeaked by on a miracle onside kick. Dak Prescott still not getting me air yards, but he started to throw it a little more down the field there. Seattle looked really good against the Patriots. I think I see a big time cover here, perhaps even like a 20-point win. You might want to do like some crazy prop where if they win by 20, you get paid like 20-1 or something. But I think they manage the clock. I think they wear them down. The offensive line injuries are going to catch up to them, especially. So Seattle covers here.
I think both of these – well, the thing is both of these teams are coming off big wins from last week. You know what I mean? So that's – but I think the Cowboys, like, needed that win last week so bad because they had a disappointing week 1 showing. I think they kind of ride that momentum of being able to put up, 21 points in the blink of an eye like we thought that they could at the beginning of the year. So I think that their offense comes out firing. I think Zeke gets going a little bit. And I think Russell Wilson – I think Russ, he's probably the most talented quarterback maybe right now. Like Mahomes is getting there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But, like, who would you rather have with the ball in their hands in the fourth quarter?
You said talented.
Yeah, that's true. I'm saying who would you rather have with the ball in their hands in the fourth quarter, Pat Mahomes or Russell Wilson?
It's close.
Gotta go Mahomes there.
I don't know.
Yeah, Mahomes, come on.
Dude, I don't know. Well, Mahomes has Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
Use your brain. Come on now.
DK Metcalf is a physical specimen.
He's not better than Arcega-Whiteside, all right? So either way.
Don't bring that name up.
Give me the Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys. Billy, go ahead.
So this is my mortal lock. I absolutely love this. I'm taking the Cowboys to cover, and I'm also going to be betting the Cowboys money line. I think this game is a shootout. Both defenses absolutely stink, but the Seahawks defense especially is awful. I think Dak just lights them up. I think this game is probably like 41-38, something like that. And I like the Cowboys to cover.
Is Jamal Adams a fraud?
Ooh.
No.
Coming from a Jets fan, take that with a grain of salt, America.
He is pretty mid in pass coverage, I will say.
What's the over-under on this game, Sam?
So I was gonna mention that. Over-under is 55.5.
That's a lot of points.
I might take the under just because everyone expects it to be a ton of offense. It's probably gonna be a dud.
Damn.
Okay, next. So who do we pick there? I took the Cowboys. Billy took the Cowboys.
I got Seattle.
Cowboys.
Kerry took the Cowboys. Jesse took Seattle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next we have the Detroit Lions at my Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals 5.5-point favorites. This is my immortal lock. Putting it on my Arizona Cardinals -5.5. Last week, Vegas gets away with disrespecting the Cardinals by not making them big enough favorites. It is a big number, 5.5, but Detroit is bad, and Arizona is better than Vegas than people betting on the games know right now. So I'm going to take the Cardinals -5.5. Lock it in.
So respect that pick there, but as I said in the previous video, I haven't met a Detroit Lions line against the spread I will not take. Detroit getting Kenny Galladay back. Matt Stafford's going to be flinging it. I don't buy that Arizona defense. I like Kyler, but 5.5 is a big number. Asking him to cover that type of number in back-to-back weeks is pretty hard on a second-year quarterback. I think Stafford keeps it close here. I'm going to have to contractually keep taking them until they hit. Lions cover here.
Who the Lions play last week?
Oh, don't remind me. One of my worst picks. Green Bay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. How'd that work out?
I mean, I have to keep taking them.
Wasn't it like 6.5?
They're gonna cover one of these, and then
what I will
like
say,
a genius.
what does scare me here is Lions are 0-2 against the spread, despite Jesse loving them every week, and the Cardinals are 2-0, which does scare me. Law of averages, but this is the breaker for the Cardinals, where if they cover here, Vegas isn't looking back. They're going to be big favorites every week.
Yeah, no, I'm going Cards as well. Again, you keep talking about thinking that he's going to regress or that it's a big number to cover for 2 weeks in a row. Listen, all he has to do is throw the ball in the general direction of DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes. And
he'll be just fine. So give me the Cards.
Jeff Okuda. Here's a take. You guys ready for this one? Matt Patricia, the defensive version of Adam Gase. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there.
I see the parallels, and they have really dumb looks too, and they give really dumb quotes. So I definitely see the parallels there.
I will take the Cards as well. But this is the other game where I'm admitting that, I know I'm being a sucker. Like, this probably loses, but I have to take the Cards. I think people are starting to warm up to this, but by the end of the season, they'll realize that Kyler is better than Lamar. And that's a hill that I'm willing to die on.
Damn.
I like this.
This is one of those picks where it's like, damn, I know that the public is going to be huge on the Cards, and I really don't care, and I'm going to fucking ride with them anyway.
That's like what the Ravens worked for you last week.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it works out sometimes. It doesn't work out. Everyone was like that with the Chiefs too, so it works out sometimes. But
yes, that's true.
Didn't expect Tyrod to get stabbed in the heart.
God, Jesus.
So everyone but
Poor
Jesse
guy.
taking the Cardinals. Jesse taking the Lions. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Denver Broncos. Broncos +6. Tough pick. Broncos starting Jeff Driscoll, who's not good at football. So for that reason, I'll take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to cover by 6. He beats up on bad teams. I don't know that the Broncos are that good. So I'll begrudgingly take the Buccaneers, even though I don't have much conviction in that.
So I'm going to throw a quick question out to the group here. What's your favorite Jeff Driscoll moment in the NFL? There's none, okay? So although Denver is a house of horrors for Tom Brady, it's a house of horrors. He's had some terrible losses there. I don't know if that gets in him mentally.
Not to Jeff Driscoll.
Yeah, that's going to be my point. See, you have 150 IQ there. You saw that coming. But although it's a house of horrors, he's not losing to Jeff Driscoll. He's not going to screw your cover. I'm taking Tampa Bay. Hit it hard because of Jeff Driscoll. Thank you.
Yeah, give me TV as well. I think Fournette got going last week. We see what he can do. He can kind of take over a game on the ground. I think the Broncos stink. I think even with Drew Lock, I would probably take them minus, what is it, -6?
Yeah.
Even with Drew Lock, I'd probably take the Tampa Bay -6. And they don't even have Drew Lock. They have Jeff Driscoll. So give me the Bucs. I expect no less than a 14-point victory.
This is just a classic public trap game. Everyone and their mother is taking the Bucs. I consider this for my mortal lock, but I like Dallas more. But I have to go with the Broncos here. You're going to have, it's Tom Brady versus Jeff Driscoll. You know how many people are going to bet the Broncos? 0. So they're guaranteed to win.
And they're begging you to tease this too. It's at 6. That's like the please tease me. And the Broncos miraculously pull this out of their ass game. So I agree with Billy's sentiment. This is such a trap, and I'm still taking it.
Yeah, strong argument from Billy.
Can you imagine how many people, little like 16 to 18-year-olds, getting the recently released Barstool Sports app just to bet Tom Brady in this game? I guarantee there's thousands of those cases.
The Stoolies are going to be making them a fortune.
This is sponsored by FanDuel, by the way. Fuck you, Barstool.
Thank you. Great take.
I'm in New Jersey. I can't even use Barstool.
I'm in PA. I'm not using Barstool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so everyone taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, except for Billy, who's taking the Broncos. Billy's probably going to be right on that one, if I had to guess.
I hate that.
Okay, Curry's Green Bay Packers at the New Orleans Saints. I'm getting feedback on someone's when they move. That's probably Curry. Saints 3-point favorites, classic home game pick'em. So this is where you really have to decide if home field matters or not. Saints looked awful last week, so they might come out firing, but got to go on the bad man Aaron Rodgers, man on a mission. Green Bay Packers +3.
Yeah, this is one of the most depressing ends to a career I can think of. And not just because I have Drew Brees in fantasy. He's the definition of a noodle arm right now. He can't get the ball downfield more than 15 yards. I don't got Michael Thomas, a.k.a. the slant god, going hard down the middle for him. That's his only hope this season. The slant god is going to be out this game. Kamara is going to put up a huge fantasy stats, so shout out to him. But Aaron Rodgers, I'll give credit where credit is due. We like to shit on Curry here. He's a bad man. Big rebound season. They cover big time here. Shout out Matthew Jefferson Curry.
Yeah, I have to go with the Packers. I think, I'm contractually obligated to go with the Packers in this game. Not only because Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, but also because the Saints broke my heart last week when I faded Jesse's mortal lock. And, yeah, they looked inept. As
Sidebar. Jesse. Curry texts me, PM, a couple hours before the Monday night game. I don't want to put this in the group chat, but I'm putting a ton of money on the Saints. I don't want to tell Jesse.
That just made my day. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that. But go ahead, Curry.
I got fucked. I played myself is what I did. But I don't even know where I was at. Packers. Just Packers.
I'll join the Packers train. The Saints are not good. People don't realize that yet. They've been frauds for the last 4 years, going out in devastating fashion in the playoffs. They've been frauds. They're even worse this year. Drew Brees is 90 years old. I like the Packers.
Shout out Stephon Diggs for ruining the Saints.
Yes.
Diggs sideline touchdown.
Back.
Incredible.
Yep.
Okay, so we're all taking solidarity pick on the Packers here. Last, we have Monday Night Football, game of the week, I'd say. This is definitely the two favorites in the AFC. We got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens 3.5-point favorites. Gotta throw that half in there, which is why I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs +3.5. Lamar kind of a fraud, but not gonna show it until the playoffs. Chiefs were looking ahead to this game last week. That's why they lost to the Chargers. Chiefs +3.5.
Yeah, no, they didn't lose to the Chargers, but I think that extra half a point, even though it's the worst thing in football to have a team covered by 3.5, I think the respect that Vegas is giving Baltimore is the reason why I'm taking Baltimore. I think the Ravens, I'll venture to say, are the new Saints in that they're regular season warriors. I think they're going to be 13-3, best offense in the NFL, collapse in the playoffs. But because of their ability to put up points and be probably the best team in the regular season, they cover here, and I'm taking them.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the Ravens. I think last week we saw sort of vulnerability in that Chiefs offense. You know, they were absolutely steamroll. We expected them to absolutely steamroll every team they played, and then the Chargers come out, and Patrick Mahomes looked like a human being there for the first half. And I think that the Ravens defense is much better than the Chiefs defense. So give me the Ravens.
I think this one's tough, but Chiefs getting points, I can't not take that. So I'll go with the Chiefs.
They can also win by 30. Yeah.
I could see this going either way, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs getting points.
Okay, so Billy and I going with the Chiefs. Jesse and Curry going with the Ravens. That's going to do it for our Week 3 picks, boys. You want to rattle off our mortal locks? I got the Cardinals -5.5. Jesse?
Falcons -3.
Curry?
Fuck, who thought I pick?
Oh, bad sign, America. Do not take that pick. He doesn't even know what he took. Just awful.
Whoever's playing the Browns.
Oh, okay.
Washington football team.
I don't remember.
7.5.
Washington football team against the Browns.
7.5.
Oh, God.
And I got the Cowboys +5.
Okay, so that's going to do it for our Week 3 picks. Check out the latest podcast if you haven't yet, Back and Better, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I bet Curry hasn't listened yet. I'm going to call him out. Oh.
Disrespectful call out there.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't on anything, I didn't listen.
How did you think Blaine did?
Not as good as me, but okay.
Had some crazy takes. Didn't think golf was a sport. Tough luck for him.
Billy was a good guest on our picks today. Thanks for coming out, Billy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to support you guys. FTB, loyal listener, day one.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate you. Tell Eagles fan 5 I still hate him. He cheated me big time, and I thought he had a dirty move by paying late. So have a great day to everyone except Eagles fan 5.
Thank you.